Good day, class, and welcome to your weekly update. You all have been very productive over the last few weeks. You've created interview questions and survey questions and conducted an interview and completed your surveys. I've been reviewing your interview evaluations and your interview notes, and I am so pleased you all got some excellent information to use in your Essay 3, your letter, that calls people to take action or make a change. Your survey questions are being submitted as we speak, and what I'm seeing of those results, you all did an excellent job. You've got a lot of information to work with. I do want to take a few minutes and talk to you about how to use that information. I know you all got some insight into that by looking at the sample and from the discussion I had on YouTube earlier this week, but I want to go into a bit more detail. Now, a few things to remember. First is it does take some basic math to come up with the statistics. I know the requirement was 10 surveys. Some people did more. And when it's 10, it's fairly easy to come up with the statistics. You have 8 out of 10 people say something, that's 80%. But if you have a different number of surveys, and I encourage you to use all the surveys you get, then all you simply need to do is take the number of people that said something. So let's say you have 12 people that you've surveyed, and 9 respond in a particular way. So let's pretend that 9 said yes. Then you would take 9 and divide that by the number of surveys you gave out. So you divide that by 12. So it would be 9 divided by 12. That will give you a number in a decimal point. You move the decimal point over 1, and that gives you the number. So if you divided 8 by 10, you would get 0.8. So you'd move that over and it'd be 80%. If you divide 9 by 12, that'll give you a number and you move the decimal over and that gives you your percentage. It's pretty straightforward. There are tools online that can help you do that, but all you really need is the calculator, like the one on your phone or your computer. So make sure that you come up with accurate statistics. You do not need to give us the 0.356, whatever those other numbers are. Okay, just move it over to. So if it comes out to, let's say, 87.356%, just 87%, okay? And then if it's like 87.9, you would just say about 88%. So you can work with it that way and just keep it pretty straightforward for the reader. Now, a couple of other things about using your survey data. Sometimes we have certain groups in our population from our sample. Okay, your sample size was 10, or if you did 11 or 12, that would be your sample size. So you surveyed a sample of your population, and some people in your sample may be divided into different groups. For instance, when you ask those descriptive questions, and I'm sure some of you are like, well, why did we ask descriptive questions? Well, this is why. Let's say that you're focusing on transportation, and you think that there needs to be more opportunities for public transportation for people to get from one place to another because they don't have a car on campus. Well, some of the descriptive questions you might have asked is, what year are you in school? So are they a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior? You may have asked if they are a domestic student, so someone from the US, or an international student. You may have asked if they have a car, okay? Yes or no. So this is where you will use those questions. The if they have a car question is great. Take a look at everyone who said no. And what is the percentage of everyone who said no? So let's say that you had 6 people say no, okay? Now that makes up 100% of the people that said no, because you have 6, so 6 out of 6 of the no's, okay? You take a look at those and you see what else they might have agreed on. So for instance, if you take a look at those 6 people that said no, and all of them say that we need more public transportation, then that's 100% of people who do not have cars agree that there needs to be more public transportation at the university. So you give us some context for the responses. If you're talking about, let's say, the year they are in school, and you see that dividing it up by freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, and you notice a lot of the freshmen and sophomores say that there needs to be more public transportation, but the juniors and seniors seem to have it figured out. Then just report what the freshmen and sophomores say, and you could say something like, the freshmen and sophomore students at the University of Central Oklahoma agree that there needs to be more public transportation, with 85% of freshmen and sophomores reporting that they don't have access to a car or other types of transportation to get around town. Explain the information and use those descriptive questions to help you kind of divide up the responses. Now, there may be some responses that, it doesn't matter what they answered in the descriptive section, they all agree or disagree on something, or they all are for or against something, or whatever it is. So you don't always need to divide it up for every question, but for some of them it may be helpful. Now, speaking of every question, you do not need to report all of your statistics in Essay 3. You need to be selective. What do you think will mean the most to the people reading the letter? And that's really up to you as a researcher to decide what is the most significant. Okay, what is the most significant? And report that information. Now, have fun with it. Remember, this paragraph where you're reporting the data from your surveys is structured just like a Toulmin argument, except your supporting claim and qualifier are a bit different, and we were described in the video on Monday. And then you will present your evidence and then have a sentence that's the warrant. And your warrants will be very brief in this section. So evidence, warrant, evidence, warrant, evidence, warrant. And then your concluding sentence then transitions to the next paragraph that is the big warrant, which basically reiterates and explains the information you've already presented in that third paragraph. Rewatch the video from Monday. I know some of you only watch videos once. Yes, I can tell. Make sure you rewatch it while you're writing your Essay 3, because I really go into detail on each section and you will need to know that information. I wish you all the best. I do want to give you one more reminder before we go. Extra credit. It's like your extra life that you get in class. As you can tell, I'm Mario for the occasion because I believe extra credit's super important, and it is like an extra life for you. It can boost your grade, help you so you don't have to worry so much moving into next week. It really gives you an opportunity to relax and just know that you have that cushion, those extra points, that extra life to bring your score up. I hope you all do have a wonderful weekend. Please contact me if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you on our Zoom meeting tomorrow on Friday. It's a great opportunity to ask questions about your Essay 3, perhaps how to use your survey data. Don't forget to use your interview information. You want to make sure you quote from that. That's what it's there for. You're fantastic. See you later. Goodbye. Go Mario.